Hey y'all, I called this meeting because it was brought to my attention that sexual assault is occurring on campus. I spoke to this young woman and she claims that she has been sexual assaulted, but she's in fear to report it because she didn't think action would take place. It is horrible and sad that something like this is occurring on our campus. So in this meeting we will discuss ways that we could prevent sexual assault. One way that we need to one thing that we need to do is lower the rates of sexual assault. About 80% of the sexual assaults go unreported, and that number may be higher on college campuses. One way that we can lower the rates is by starting a program. The program will inform the students and give them factual information about what's going on, and they will be aware of if anything ever happens to them, they could always tell someone and not be in fear and feel safe that they could just report it. Now that we've talked about the statistics, let's talk about ways to beat them.
So, one way prevention of sexual assault can be prevented is by a program called SPARK. And SPARK stands for Sexual and Interpersonal Violence Prevention and Response course. This is a free online source offered by the State University of New York, and it helps train students in the prevention of sexual, interpersonal, and related violence. And it is in over 140 campuses, and I think that if we could get this program on Xavier's campus, we could stop the sexual assault on our campus. And another way that we can stop the sexual assault is by having students with influential positions on campus. Maybe they can talk to people more about different things that they hear, maybe, and tell bystanders to actually speak up on it and not just walk away or not acknowledge it. And so now that we have talked about the prevention of sexual assault, how can we move towards ending sexual assault?
Ending sexual assault is possible. One way to end sexual assault on college campuses is implementing training programs that will engage students, faculty, and staff to be able to recognize that a sexual assault incident is about to happen, and also actions that they can take once they recognize it that will stop it before it even occurs. This tactic has been adopted in New York on college campuses and has been very effective. The next step is to pressure lawmakers to pass stricter and more aggressive policies that will target colleges that are lax on how they handle sexual assaults being reported. One example is Enough is Enough, that was passed in New York and required all colleges to adopt a uniform definition of affirmative consent and an amnesty policy that will grant immunity to students who are reporting these incidents. And it also calls for more law enforcement on campus, which is very important because the presence will definitely discourage sexual assault. Now that we've discussed sexual assault rates, prevention methods, and approaches to ending sexual assault, we see sexual assault can happen on any campus to anyone. It's up to us to make sure that it ends today.